Good afternoon, everyone. Coming in today because one of the things that I noticed, a lot of people are doing this whole financial literacy thing, and everybody's trying to be financially literate. So I'm gonna give you all a few minutes to come in. This is gonna be a short, brief video. I'm actually in the middle of doing continuing education for my actual credentials. I'm not knocking these guys who are talking about, crypto and all this other stuff. But if you have the nerve to ask a financial advisor like myself about my credentials, but then go to some random guy and give him 10, 15 bucks and he's not trained in this. I had another guy, I do my finances myself, bro. But when I got to go get right, I got to go to the barber and get my hair cut by a licensed professional. Well, if you don't want to take the risk of getting zeked your hair, you might want to deal with a licensed professional so you don't get zeked your money. Anyway, this one actually is about becoming a millionaire. So what I want to do is I want to share a couple of things. One, in terms of buying term and investing the rest, that's some real important stuff. And then number two, I want to talk about a financial calculator that financial advisors like myself use, but unfortunately with a lot of the unwashed masses who are right now going into the stock market to gain $1,800 off of penny stocks, that's nothing. When I was a stockbroker with E.J. Sterling at 39 Broadway, which is across from the Brass Bowl in Manhattan, the minimum you could invest was 100 shares. Or $10,000, whichever was smaller. 100 shares or $10,000, not whichever was smaller. If $10,000 was smaller, the least you could put in was 10 grand. You also have to pay the stockbroker a commission, so that's technically 20 grand. Most people don't have the risk tolerance to lose that 20 grand. But at any rate, what I'm going to share with you today is some of the tax code from Biden. Actually, let me just share the entire screen. It's probably easier to do that way. So the first thing I want to look at here is we're going to look at the Biden versus Trump tax rate. But before we go there, I'm going to log into my back office. Okay. As you can see here is a little bit of my production as of yesterday. That's how much money I stand to make, hopefully, by the end of this week. But here we have, let me see if I can increase this so you guys can see this. So I've increased my screen 125%. So I can go to calculators. Now this calculator, if you'll see, I have product specific. I have income calculators, where we can calculate certain income things, tax and debt calculators. Again, this is why you want to sit down with me and sit for an hour. And then I have saving and investing calculators. So today the calculator we are going to use is becoming a millionaire. And we're going to literally see how you can become a millionaire. Now let's say that most of the people I deal with, guys who are considering being a millionaire, are usually about 40. But there's a reason that I want you to see this here. Give me 1 second. I got to respond to something on my phone. Cool. And get that email back out too. So, becoming a millionaire. It may surprise you how quickly you can accumulate $1 million. So we're going to use this calculator to determine the annual amount that you would have to set aside each year to raise $1 million and reach your goal to be a millionaire. Now, there's something else that I want to show you, because this is from, Patrick Bet David, who's the guy who did Family First and valuetainment and all that. Another life insurance agent, but everybody sucks his dick because, he doesn't tell you the truth. He tells you the bullshit you want to hear. And when people tell you the BS you want to hear, you like it. So if you'll notice here, he's got the corporate taxes in Trump's plan were 21%, and in Biden's plan, they're 28%. But if you'll notice income or payroll taxes, the max is 37%. It's 52% under Biden. So that means you, regular average American, going to work every day, you come home, you're getting taxed 52 cents on every dollar. So you're coming home with 48 cents. And you're giving this guy 52 cents of that dollar you worked for. Now, small business taxes, 29%, goes up a whole 10% to 39%. And again, capital gains and dividends. So this is your retirement. This is what everybody's so happy about. And I want to talk to you crypto guys too. You guys are doing a bunch of tax evasion. You think Trump would have hurt you? No, but Biden's going to bend you guys over, open up your cheeks, and go in long dick style with no Vaseline. Just so you know, capital gains taxes under Obama was increased to 20% and even higher under Trump, 23%. Nobody wants to pay that much taxes on capital gains, but Biden wants to give you 43% capital gains tax. So now let's look here. Let's say we have a person who's 35. Now we know the average age of a millionaire is 52. Now most people have less than $500 in their savings account, so we're going to start from zero. Now, if we're in today's market, we're in a 1% interest rate. Now, your before tax return on savings, we're going to save that as 8%. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to go to, instead, we're going to do the 37%, which is the top. That's people who are making like 400K or better are getting 37% tax. 100K or better are getting 37% tax in the Trump plan. In the Biden plan, somebody who makes $40,000 is likely to be taxed at 37%. So your marginal tax bracket will be 37%. The average inflation rate for the past 100 years has been 3% a year. So now we're going to submit and calculate this. So somebody who's 35 today, let's look at the results. Based on your existing savings of $0, it appears that you would need to save $34,261 indexed at 1% annually, because if you go to a money market account, bank account, they're going to give you 0.8%, which is 8/100ths of 1%, in order to become a millionaire by age 52. However, $1 million today will not be worth the same in 17 years. 1 million adjusted for inflation of 3% will be $1.652 million in 17 years. So technically, you will need to save $56,628 a year, indexed at 1%, to reach that goal by age 52. So again, it's showing you here your beginning balance. And then this is what you need to save. And on that 1%, this is what you're earning. And again, you're being taxed at 37%. So your ending balance is this. And it literally shows you an amortization schedule of how it grows. Obviously, it becomes a little more specific depending on your situation. But again, this is why you need to sit with your financial professional and do these things. Now, we're also going to talk about this. Since that was Patrick Bet-David, I went to an independent CPA to find the Biden and Trump tax plans. So the corporate tax rate under Biden is 28% with a 15 minimum book tax on companies reporting more than 100 million. The Trump laws are incorporated 21%, which means that more businesses come into America, especially with this COVID BS, which means you guys are right now belly aching because you ain't got no jobs, but you keep letting Joe Biden bring in 11 million immigrants and outsource jobs to China. Well, Americans, if you want those jobs outsourced and you get to pay more taxes, let's look at the individual tax rate. Increase the top rate to 39.6% and make permanent middle-class tax rates under the TCJA, which are set to expire in 2025. So basically, he's increasing those taxes. He's subjecting wages above 400K to a 12.4% Social Security tax. Okay. Now, let's look at capital gains, because again, this is your retirement. It's taxed as ordinary income at a rate of 39% for taxpayers earning more than $1 million. So if you save up $1 million in your 401k, he's taking 40% of that from your happy ass. Whereas this, you only pay 15%, which is incorrect. It's actually 20% under Obama, who changed that. But apparently Trump brought it back down to 15%. Retirement incentives. Now, Trump didn't really do too much with retirement, but Biden is creating an automatic 401k for workers without access to a pension, which is everyone in America, or 401k plans, and offer tax credits to small businesses to offset the cost of starting or maintaining retirement plans. So basically, now they're going to tell your job to let someone like me come in, offer you a 401k, not contribute like they used to, and get a tax benefit for it. But lo and behold, we love this man. And now I'm going to go back and talk to you about buying term and investing the rest. Okay. What's going on, brother? How you doing? And peace, Tech Man Killer, Clan Killer. What's going on? So I'm showing you guys all this stuff that this is not from me. This is from an independent CPA. Okay. So we're looking at these tax credits and incentives. The financial transaction tax. Now, there was no plan under Trump, which sucked. And he's going to support other Democratic policies, is Biden. The estate tax. He's eliminated the stepped up basis rule that allows people to pass capital gains to their heirs without a tax after death. Now, that one I'm not too upset about, because I'll be honest, the estate taxes, well, the real estate, estate taxes, I am upset about, because now basically what he's saying is you can't pass things. You have to have life insurance, because that's the only tax-free way to pass down wealth. And he's going to charge more on estate planning. Trump didn't do too much on estate planning, to be honest, but he kind of sucked on that. And real estate taxes, I did not like, and most wealthy people did not like what Trump did with real estate taxes, because he capped it at 10%. Or 10,000, and 10,000 sucks when you're paying mortgage interest. If anybody has a mortgage, you're paying way more than 10,000 in mortgage interest, especially if you live in a state like New York, especially any of the 5 boroughs. But what I want to show you guys really quick, again, and this, as you can see, is my personal producer Workbench here for one of my favorite companies to produce for, which is Emeritus. Let me decrease the screen a little bit. Again, like I said, here's my hopeful check. God willing, the person gets approved for life insurance. It sucks, because as a financial advisor, it's worse than being a drug dealer. At least as a drug dealer, I know somebody's going to come buy these drugs. But as a financial advisor, I know I'm set to make this at the end of this week. But say the guy that is applying for this policy didn't tell me that he has diabetes and smokes cigarettes, and then they decline him for this policy. So that goes from $2,100 this week to $0. Now I'm going to create an illustration for you guys, because I want to show you guys about buying term and investing the rest. You'll hear people like Sue Zorman or Dave Ramsey who live by buy term and invest the rest. Let me just check if there's any comments going. No? Okay. So they live by buy term and invest the rest. Now, how does buy term and invest the rest work? Well, it's a great model if you're wealthy, because you can afford what's called the 2 and 20 fees, right? But I'm going to create a new client named the Blue Blazer. As you can see, hold on, let me create one here. Blue Blazer. Okay, and he's going to have been born in let's make him in his 20s. So 02, 03, 1991, right? If he's born in 91, how old is he? He's 30, right? So let's say this 30-year-old guy wants to buy a term and invest the rest. It's a great model, and actually 30 is a great age to do that, right? So what is the idea of buy term and invest the rest? Now, often you'll hear financial coaches, because they're not actually financial advisors, like Sue Zimmerman or Dave Ramsey, say, buy term and invest the rest. Buy a term policy and then put the rest of the money in a mutual fund or invest in the stock market. And that's great if you can actually afford going into the stock market or mutual fund. Most people can't because they don't have the risk tolerance to lose $10,000 or pay the 2 and 20 fees. So you don't know what a 2 and 20 fee is because you don't actually deal with a real financial advisor. A 2 and 20 fee means I charge you 2% of your net worth every year, regardless of if you buy something or not from me once you buy your first product from me. The 20 fees, or 20% of whatever your gains are, is owed to me for managing your money. So let's say you invest in Tesla and it pops and it grows and it balloons 10%. Well, technically you didn't make any money because you got to pay me 20% of that 10% that you've gained. So now let's look here. There is an advantage still to buy term and invest the rest. There's just a different way to do it. So as a 30-year-old, okay, now when you're buying term insurance, there's levels. There's 1, 10, 15, 20, and 30 years. I recommend, the most popular is a 20-year. I recommend if you're young enough, get a 30-year, which you have to be less than 50 to get a 30-year. Okay, we're going to do a 30-year term on a 30-year-old non-tobacco healthy male. So $1 million. Preview that. Okay, so $1 million life insurance, and this is just a death benefit. Costs him $120 a month. So if he dies, his family get $1 million, and it's only going to cost him $120. Where else can you turn $120 into $1 million overnight? Oh, also, when you do this, you're instantly a millionaire because the life insurance adds to your net worth. Sorry, I guess I didn't teach you that trick either. What's going on, brother? Peace. So your net worth is now $1 million because you bought this term policy. But again, this is a 30-year-old healthy virile man, but he needs to invest the rest. So that's when you go into another life insurance policy, which is a wealth contract, believe it or not. And let's say you get an indexed universal life. Now, we know he's spending $112 a month on his temporary life insurance policy. So now we're going to say, we're going to do minimum non-MEC, which means a non-modified endowment contract. Remember, a modified endowment contract, I did a video a while ago on Facebook, and I had a certified public accountant have the nerve to come at me, like, how do you know he did a MEC? And I was like, bro, you're a CPA. You know a modified endowment contract is a tax shelter. What that is a life insurance policy where rich people like Donald Trump throw $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month in it. Then they take the money out tax-free, and then they don't ever pay taxes on it because it's in a life insurance policy. So now we're going to do minimum non-MEC. Now we know that he's paying $112 a month on his $1 million life insurance policy. Now, if you'll notice here, because again, people ask about life insurance and the differences. Well, if you'll notice here, you see all this stuff, fixed cap, S&P, because this type of a policy, an indexed universal life, mirrors the stock market. So now we're going to put the same $112 a month into his cash value accumulation life insurance as we did his term policy. Now, I also want you to notice something because I hear people talking about the differences in life insurance often, and I compare it to a Mercedes-Benz. You'll notice this is an A-series Benz, right? It's affordable protection, flexible coverage, and conversion guarantees. But what does this say off of the beginning? See, this is your E-Class Mercedes-Benz. Protection. Interest accumulation potential linked in part to equity indexes and guaranteed lifetime income. But this isn't it. So how come when people go to buy Mercedes-Benzes, well, they want the G-Wagon or I want an AMG, but when I say I sell life insurance, it's all the same. Well, if that's the case, a Mercedes-Benz is all the same. They all have the same fucking logo, but they aren't because they have different bells and whistles. So now again, he's paying $112 a month on this. Let me shrink this because it's a little, I'll grow it again. But he's paying $112 a month on this 30-year, $120 a month. So I did only $112 a month. I'll increase it on this one. But that'll buy him $134,000 of a death benefit. But that's not what the purpose of this policy is. Just like if you're getting a Benz and you get an A series, well, it's not going to have the same performance as an AMG S550. It's just not, right? So he's paying $1,344 a year. So over the course of 10 years, he's paid $13,440, but he has access to $8,700. So 13 minus 8 is what is that? So basically, he's paid $5,000 over the course of that 10 years, not $13,000. Now, 20 years, he's paid in out of pocket $26,880. He has access to $31,924. If he cancels the policy and gets his cash back or surrenders the policy, he will get $31,924. Wait a second, did he get paid for having life insurance? Because this is the annualized premium, $1,344. That's what he's paying out of pocket, and that's what it is over the course of 10 years. Holy smokes! You get paid for having life insurance when you get an S550. You don't get paid for having life insurance when you get an A series. But he simply bought term and invested the rest. He's not investing this in this life insurance policy for the fact that he wants to die. Yeah, if he dies, his family gets the death benefit, but the main word in life insurance is life. So I'm going to stop shortly because I'm actually doing training. I'm on Kaplan right now doing my financial education because I have to renew my licenses every 2 years. And as you can see here, I'm in my morning session, which ended at 1 o'clock, which is why I went live. And then my evening session, which is in the next half hour. I'll be going from 2 to 5, doing more continuing education because you have to do continuing education to keep your licenses. So that's it. But again, I want you to see this index has an assumed rate of 6.4% growth. That's compound interest. It's like a credit card on top of each other. Okay. So again, at 35, becoming a millionaire, we have this. Well, most people don't have $35,000 a year to put away, but you got $3,500, or I'm sorry, $1,344. I think I spoke to, I think it was you, Rael. We was on, and you saw, I did an illustration with you, and you saw how somebody was like, he was like, for $1,200 a year, we can be rich, and more Negroes aren't doing this. It's sad, but it's true. At any rate, folks, I got to hop off. I got to go eat something before I go back to class. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If this is your first time, smash that like button and that notification bell so you do get notified when we go live. Make sure you follow us online, support the channels, follow me across all platforms. I appreciate the support. With that being said, I'm out of here. Peace. Let me stop the camera. And we are gone.